Okay, folks, back. We're at wet lab number 3. Okay, sorry about that little delay. We wound up turning off lights and wanted to make sure you could see things on the screen, so that took us a few minutes just to play with the lighting. But I think you should see now the rabbit up front here, and Lily is sitting sedated in front of our optics for our OCT. You can see that we are currently, on the cornea, on the surface of that, and you can see it's coming up on here. That was one of the things we wanted to make sure you could see really well in the process of that. All right. Now we know the resolution is a little hard to see, but you can definitely get layers through. I'm looking at actually a live. You can't see the endothelial very well, but you can see it on our screen on here. So once again, if we collect a bunch of these images by hitting stop, now we can go back and review and increase the signal on the left. Bring that down, and then go ahead and scroll through. You can see that we have, like every other image, is bouncing forth. So one of the things we could do is literally save all those images, and later we could actually take out the half as one side versus another, and that's one way we can actually, okay. Oh, by the way, I should point out one of the things. When you look at this review, I'm glad you brought this up. You can see it's jumping from left to right. What it is in fact doing is going from the vertical scan to the horizontal scan. You can see in our software on this application, back on the, so cross scan. Okay, so we're on cross scan mode. And what cross scan mode is when you go back to those images, you're looking at on the left is, I believe, the horizontal image, and on the right is the vertical. So you're getting a cross. And that is then getting you data from both sides. So when you save that under review, you go to review, and then you start scrolling through those, you basically are seeing left, you're seeing horizontal, vertical, okay? And that's how this information is being saved. You can save that, you can pull those apart later if you should choose, or you can just save one scan, for example, by going to configuration, and go just to vertical or horizontal, and then hit start, and then that's going to bring up just the one scan, and you can just save that one image. It's just not using the right side for now. Okay, so that's cornea. One of the things we can do real quickly here is just do let's do an OCT volume scan, since we already have the 2D. Oh, that was a very fast one. I guess that was, must have been set to like 16 frames or 64 frames. Let's capture a little bit more this time. Now what you can see is starting to go layer by layer through the cornea. And this was actually very nice and stable data. So I suspect we could render this later on, not today, but with a little bit of time, we could rebuild that 3D of this cornea, because this is very nice, stable animal data. You could, this is really very good. And this is clearly showing the indication of the benefit of doing sedated, seeing how stable everything's going. She did not have. There we go. So you can see this thing is scanning basically from limbus to limbus under the shot. So your right side, center, and back to the left side, you can see the hairs. And that's a very good way of capturing some OCT data. That's for the anterior. Okay, so let's move on to, I haven't checked for questions here or anything as to what we're doing. If there's no other questions on the cornea or anterior side, we'll go over to retina. Okay, so let's go ahead. You want to do that, Sean, before we're into the retina side? So for our system, we would use the same optic, but we make one change where we will actually change our focal value, so it's focused on the retina. So Sean's going to turn on the focal value, change the values. In this circumstance, our focal value for cornea, it may not be relevant to you guys, is 40.1, but we're going to change our focal value to 61.1, and that then gets the retina in a better focus. And you can already see it's coming in. Let's go drop it, all right.
It's right here.
Pipe that under here. Get it all under.
Oh, yeah, pipe that's down.
Get a new one. Let's go back to cross again. It's okay? Yeah. There we are. Now we're getting better details. I'm going to try to. There we are. Now we're getting some nice stable data on the images. And now we can actually go do a 2D. Let's go ahead and capture some 2D images. A couple of mouse running around here. I'm not sure which one to grab.
So as we can see, we did the cross scan on the retina as well. So when we review the images we've captured here, we're getting that same kind of teeter-totter effect. And that's, of course, it jumping back and forth from horizontal to vertical scans in here as well.
Let's go keep the noise down a little bit. Noise on that. Looks pretty good. Capture that. And this way you get a horizontal scan. Let's do an average. Yeah, one more time. Oh, you're doing you're now doing a 3D. Okay, so let's before we go to 3D, let's go back to the start scan, and then okay, take that one, stop, and then go to review and show. Okay, then I want you to scroll through. We should be able to get an average, yeah? Okay, sorry, I was
That's okay. Got our average on
But you can see that you got a little grainy on the left, but with the averaging, you get more detail on the right. It looks pretty smooth.
I can bring the range up on both of them so we can see the difference here of all the noise before the averaging and then the amount of noise you have after the averaging here.
Very good. Okay, that's exactly what I was hoping to show in that regard. So now let's go ahead and grab a 3D. A little breathing artifact, but that's actually pretty stable. Pretty good. So that should render a pretty nice looking OCT as well, but we're gonna have to post-process that later. Yeah. So I guess what we're wanting to highlight from doing the rodent or doing the rabbit sedated was basically how we're positioning the animal, how we're using whatever system you want to have the optics align very nicely and make it easy to see into the eye. We want to make sure that the platform and the animal and everything is very, very stable, as we've managed to do here. And then, of course, you want to be able to do your scans both for the 2Ds and the 3Ds and review your data and make sure that everything is as you expect it to be. Now, I wanted to do, I had also, one of the things that we can do, I'm going to probably move on off the rabbit. We're going to go ahead and get her, start to wake her up, is that we're going to go ahead and do an awake OCT. Awake OCT is by far one of the most challenging things you can do in imaging. I don't, most people are very, very familiar with trying to get imaging using ultrasound. And it is very, very similar to trying to capture an ultrasound, except for you're now working in a 5-micron axial resolution. Most typical, even a UBM, one of the best UBMs, the best they can do is approximately about 30 microns in resolution. So any type of motion, any type of movement is just an amazing change. So it takes time to, one, learn how to do an awake OCT, and then working with yourself, and then working with the animal. I've been doing OCTs on myself, and it gives me a very strong appreciation of taking the handheld and actually putting it on my eye and actually getting a feel for how much, I should say, how much stability is required to get good imaging. So it takes some time, it takes some practice, but it's definitely doable. The benefit of doing the awake OCT is you get gross anatomical representation. For example, it works really well in cornea. When you've got something that shows clearly there is an opacity or any type of aberration on the cornea, when you use the OCT on the anterior, it really illuminates. It really has very, very clear detail. And it's actually pretty simple to capture because, you're just looking at the cornea and you're putting the cornea, the OCT on the cornea, you can capture those images very, very quickly. The challenge is going to be trying to capture the OCT in the retina, because now you have to deal with a depth component, and now you have to be literally within microns of the right distance away to get a good image as you've seen when we had the static rabbit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do one more exam. We're going to take off this handheld, we're going to put it off the scanner, we're going to put it on a handle. And then I'm going to grab my new family member, my new dog Axon, and I'm going to put him on the table, and I'm going to do a very quick OCT examination, and I'm going to attempt to grab his cornea, and I'm going to try to grab his retina, and we'll see how that goes. And it's of course like it's like any animal. More compliant they are, easier it is to collect data. Working with a puppy could be a bit challenging, so wish me luck on that regard. So we're going to make a real quick change here. And then lastly, I'm going to just do a fundus image using a different technology, just a little fundus camera. And I just wanted to put that out there so that people get a quick appreciation for what that can do as well, okay? And that's pretty much it, and then we'll just conclude this wet lab after that. Okay, so we're going to do a quick switch over here. Okay. And then go ahead, we're going to just pop off the video for a second. Just go switch the handle. Okay, I'm on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, so everyone, you get to observe me attempting to get an OCT on a puppy. All right, this is okay, everybody. Okay, this is Axon. He's my buddy. He's my baby. Okay, you gonna work for me, man? You can earn your kibbles. All right, so we're gonna come in here, get the scan going. I got a foot switch over here, by the way. I don't have a foot switch. 1 second. Are we unplugged? It must be.
All right, we should have one.
Okay, we just do the foot. Just do the
Yeah.
key strokes from the place. All right, we're just gonna skip. Go back to the mouse. All right. There is the iris. It's good boy. Good. All right. See how fast he loses his attention? This is always fun. Always a fun part of working with wake animals. Okay, come here. Come up. Good boy. I need somebody to put hands on him, please. Sorry, I don't want to roll off the table. I can't hold on to his muzzle. Yeah. It's okay. Here, I got another one for you. Here you go. Yeah, you're doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Good. Boy, you are being fussy. Okay, I need you to hold. You do me a favor, Trenton. I'd like you to hold him up here. Just hold his head still like this. Just kind of hold his. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just, and I'll just run his work his nose and his eyes. Okay. Is the system on? Yeah, good boy. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, you're doing really well. Can you taste the kibbles on my finger still? Got a little hair in your eyes here. Hair in your eye. Okay. Yeah, good job. Good job. Doing good. Almost there. Keep it titty. Thanks. All right, get ready for this. Come on, buddy. You're doing great. Best patient today. Yeah. I need you to bring it back here. Okay, let's let him go for a second. All right, good boy. De-stress. Hey, I got something for you. Yeah, come up. Sit. Sit up. Sorry, folks, we're doing a quick changeover again. We have to get some power going to, we're about to run out of battery power on one of the systems, so we're just powering that up real quick. Are we good? We're good. All right, come here, Axon. Go ahead and let him sit up if you can. Here, bud, come on.
Okay, how about that? Did that?
Yep, that's working. He's
Okay,
very,
wonderful.
he's very cute, but not as cooperative as Neuron.
No, you know, Neuron is absolutely the best dog ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to use him. He's getting old now. I got to get a new dog in the works here. So we'll capture some video of me doing this another time if I don't get it, and we'll send that out, okay? But you can see it's a bit of a challenge that any animal trying to do a wake, it's every animal's personality is going to come into this in terms of how easy it is to do. Okay, I'll try one more time here, and then I'm pretty much going to.
Good boy.
Work with me here.
Good boy.
Let's see if we can get you laid down. Let's try that. Let's just try that. You're a little different, okay? A little different. A little different. It's okay. He is just all over the place here. Okay.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's adorable, but not getting much done. Oh boy. Okay. Folks, I think I'm going to try to call it quits. I apologize. I'm not successful in showing you how to get the retina and the cornea. That's not what I wanted to do. But sometimes I think we're just going to have to drop back and punt. The only thing else I can show is we could do a quick fundus on him. And I've got a toy that I'm trying out, just kind of curious about it. But it's a fundus camera, like other ones that are available. But I just wanted to bring that to consideration here, just so that, you know, we're talking about fundoscopy and everything else. Our small fundoscope works really well on the really small animals, but for clinical, for fundoscopy and the clinic environment, you need to have something that works better for the larger animals. So that's why I brought this one along, just to make a case in point. Yeah. Stand flat. There we go. Put him down. Just kind of be a little more assertive with him. There you go. As you can see, I can get some glimpse into the fundus.
Are you able to turn down the light intensity on that? Because it seems like your aiming intensity is kind of making them uncomfortable.
I agree. I think this one of the things about this particular design that we're checking out, Jill, is to see how this works in a dilated eye. And what just letting in too much light. And the controls on the system are fairly limited, so it is a bit difficult. You know, it's kind of like pissing them off a little bit in the light intensity. There we go. Yeah, you got a little too much back reflection on this. You can't turn it down too much on this system.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of nerve there for a second, I think.
Yeah, there was optic nerve in there.
We can review what we have as well. I took some pictures there.
Okay, I think that's going to be the end of our exam. I think my dog has had the limitations. He's like a child, got to pay attention for about 5 minutes, and that's it.
And Jillian, absolutely, we agree. The light's a little bright on this, and unfortunately, the only way that this system allows us to make any adjustments would be through the internal camera on it. And the only thing we're allowed to really adjust with this, it would be the gain and the gamma and what the camera is actually collecting as opposed to the light source. And which you mentioned earlier, different fundoscopes, we use a separate light source, of course, so we can control how bright that is into the eye. And I can say we've put this on our eye and looked in our eyes. I know I have in my eye as well, and it's very bright. It's a little hard to get around at first. So
I would think in terms of developing a handheld fundoscope, Jill, you chime in here. I would say this thing is currently using. Can you turn the light on for a second? Back on here? Or no. I'm sorry, Trenton. No, this light here on the Epicam.
yes, I got it.
Sorry, general light.
Start it again here. Where did that go?
Do you see that light?
Yeah, it's too bright.
Yeah, it's very bright. It's yellow. I would think the better solution would be a red light if you're doing monochromatic.
Or even the green. We've had good results with green.
Green works well, but Jill, what do you think? In terms of light and fundoscopy, a red light would be less intense, less burdensome?
I'm trying to think what other fundus cameras use. I think they might need to, use a, it's a bit more like the aiming part of the component of some of the other cameras is almost like night vision goggles, right? So whatever the wavelength that is.
So probably working out there in the high 600s, 700s.
Mm.
Yeah, and I would say that's probably less intense on the patient as well. So that's one of the reasons we were kind of playing with this. Wanted to give an example. You can see some of the positives and negatives and some of the implications around fundoscopy. That's kind of why I wanted to bring this into the equation. I'm sure, here in not too far out future, some of these features of functionality we're going to be doing some other things with, so stay tuned on that as well. So let's see. I'm trying to think. Sean, have we gone through our list of everything for Lab 6? I
believe so. I think we're kind of creeping into, I know there's some questions.
Okay, so that's probably the best time to conclude doing stuff and start talking questions through. Can somebody walk me through questions? Okay, is there a question? Let me see.
Yeah, there weren't really questions in that last one.
Just wanted us to stay on for the questions, but no one's asked anything yet.
Okay. Well, then maybe I should just say, what other questions are there? And if there's anything else, then maybe we just get into some closing remarks.
Jeremy said he has a specific question about our fundoscope system.
Yeah, so Jeremy had a question about your fundoscope system. So, but I think the rodent one.
Correct. Specifically, so in the system itself, I've been working with it for a bit, and I noticed a few things. That first, when you go under measurements, it doesn't give you any units it's measuring by. So I was wondering, what is that supposed to read something? I think it's just by pixels.
I think you're right. I'm not sure exactly what feature in the software you're looking at, but I think measurement is going to be pixel values. And then, of course, based upon number of pixels on screen, and we can even calculate out how that translates into some conversion of microns or metric.
So for that setup, if I'm clicking, so I have it in front of me right now, and I'm having the set measurement. If I just leave it at 1, it gives me this, and then I can do a measure and set new measure. Or no, draw a new measure. But again, it doesn't have the units, so I'm not sure as far as how to convert it into what am I in the retina that I'm taking the photo of, what is the distance?
Okay.
That's the part I'm confused on.
Okay, I'm going to say that is a question that I don't think I'm going to be able to soft shoe answer here doing a soft dance. That's a very precise question. I'm going to have to investigate that, Jeremy, and then get back with you as kind of a technical support question, okay?
Okay. And Jeremy, if you'd like, I'll reach out to you on Monday, and we can go through and take a look at that software and get a little bit better of an answer for you. So I'll email you Monday morning and see when works for you, and we'll just set something up.
Okay. If there are no other questions, we're going to do, before everybody gets offline, we're going to do something here. We're going to raffle off something. We're going to raffle off one of the RM lenses that our group RetNap, our partner, has been making for us, and we've been advocating it. I think it's a very nice solution for doing rabbits as well as for canine. It does a very nice job. It really stays on the eye. So if you're working with a wake, this is advantageous over an ERG jet for sure. Now, we put everybody's names on little pieces of paper. Everybody's got a name in here. And I'm going to pick a name. Don't even look. And this is for our $295 multi-use RM lens. And the winner is Laura. Congratulations, Laura. I don't know what the last name of Laura is, but I'm sure Denise will be able to tell us when I ask her later. Please reach out to us and we'll get us an email. Oh, let's see what we got here.
Laura White.
Laura White. Oh, Laura White. Congratulations, Laura White. Okay. That is really good news for you. Okay. And I definitely think where you are, you'll use it and find it very advantageous in the clinic and even in the research. So congratulations. We'll put that in the mail to you. We just need to make sure we'll follow up with you, get an email with your address and do that. Let me see. Let me take this mask off because I can talk better without it. All right. I guess in terms of closing remarks, I really hope that everyone who's taken the time out to watch the videos and to take the time out and come to our wet labs and take the time out for the Q&A session, I hope you got something out of it of value. And I really hope it does something that improves the outcomes of your research data and the opportunity to see that data more clearly and lead to better discoveries in sight and fighting blindness. And likewise, for those who are the clinicians in the group, we hope that you're seeing the different technologies and the background of the science and application of structure and function, and that this will also propel your clinical outcomes to an even more positive level than they are. That's our objective as a business. You know, we are all about the eyes from mouse to mankind, and that we know you all are as well, because we're all kindred spirits in that regard. And we're here to share our information and here to support you in any way, shape we can, either in our products or as in the technology or even in collaborations going forward. We're always happy to help. We always have some interesting thoughts that at least that we might be able to contribute to designs of your studies. And if you have any specific technological or engineering requirements, we're always interested in talking to you about those as well. For us in 2021, we're going to continue to be virtual for the next few months, which means we invite you to contact us if you need a demonstration of any of our technologies or any questions that come up from your prior use of our technologies, or if you have an upcoming study and you want us to kind of chime in on how we might be able to support it, we'd be happy to do that for you. I want to give very, very, very special thanks to Ron Ofrey and Jillian McClellan. Without them, this course would not exist for now 8 years. I really appreciate them, and I appreciate everyone flexing and changing the way we're doing business, the way we're educating and connecting. And I actually feel pretty good about this event. I think in its own ways and its own attributes has some real positives. Of course, it's always much more enjoyable to actually have you here, for you to have face-to-face conversations with us, for you to have an opportunity to put your hands on the equipment. I think those are, of course, very valuable attributes that we definitely want to get back to in the future. And to that end, I say thank you very much. I think this concludes my end of the conversation. I'm going to leave it up just to say, is any other open discussions or anything else that's left? Jill, if you have any comments, please chime in.
So I would just like to thank Daniel and his team, because it has been like a huge undertaking. I know Ron and I kind of were driven crazy trying to record all those lectures. It's always much more fun to just fly to Las Vegas, get to meet y'all and socialize and give our presentations and be interactive about it. But I think that Daniel and the others have managed to pull something off that is no minor feat in the pandemic, and I'd like to thank him for having the faith to continue with this effort. And hopefully this time next year we can all be together somewhere.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, everyone. It's been my pleasure. And again, if you need anything, reach out to us. If you need any clarification or any other follow-up, I will make one note. We will get the videos from the wet labs process and up on the website. so people will be able to review them after the fact, okay? We'll send you out an email when they are actually posted. So thank you again. Have a good day. Have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day, and be safe out there. Bye-bye. If you should need any assistance with the course, technology, or any problem, please feel free to email us at info@ocu-science.com or call us at 866-250-3937, extension 6, and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you again for attending our course.